Hey, what's going on? How's it going today? Ed Reiner here with a daily dose of mind stuff. The daily study that I do every day, taking you on this journey with me as I study. Some people always ask me what I'm studying on a daily basis. So today, sometimes I just took a book out of Proctor's book, as you would say. I take a book and I just open it up and start reading and find something. So today I picked up and I opened up to imagination. So I was just going to share some things on imagination with you. And that led me to Earl Nightingale's condensed version of this book, Think and Grow Rich. And I thought, well, you know what? It's good just to have Earl read through this. This was from the record. This actually was if you listen to Bob's story about how he went from 4,000 a year to over 175,000 within a year, he was earning 4,000 and then over a million 5 years later. This was the record that he was listening to after he started reading Think and Grow Rich. And he talks about playing this record, the condensed version, in his car. This was one of the records he was listening to along with Napoleon or Earl Nightingale's Lead the Field program. But I'm just going to share this with you instead of me reading through everything in the book, and then I will read a couple things in there that I feel are important that jumped out at me. So let me pop over to Earl real quick, and I'll be back in a second.
The fifth principle is imagination. The imagination is literally the workshop wherein are fashioned all plans created by man. The impulse, the desire, is given shape, form, and action through the aid of the imaginative faculty of the mind. It has been said that man can create anything he can imagine. As Napoleon Hill says and teaches, whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Man's only limitation within reason lies in his development and use of his imagination and subsequent motivation to action. The great leaders of business, industry, finance, and the great artists, musicians, poets, and writers became great because they developed the power of self-motivation. Incidentally, one of the best books ever put together on this subject, if not the greatest, is Success Through Positive Mental Attitude by Napoleon Hill and W. Clement Stone. I suggest you get a copy from your bookstore at your earliest convenience. If your bookstore happens to be out of the book, you may obtain a copy by writing to the address on the label of this record. As you go about your daily work, think constantly of ways in which it could be done better, more efficiently. Think of the changes that are inevitable. Can they be made now? And if you feel limited, remember the words of the late Frank Lloyd Wright. He said, "The human race built most nobly when limitations were greatest, and therefore when most was required of imagination in order to build it all. Limitations seem to have always been the best friends of architecture." As you build your future from this point onward, don't concern yourself with limitations, but remember that they may be your best friends, since they require imagination if we're to rise above them. And as Beecher said, the soul without imagination is what an observatory would be without a telescope. Now, if you'll turn this record over.
Okay, so just really quick summation of imagination. Imagination is literally the workshop of the mind, as Earl said. Some other things in here that popped up at me as I was reading through. Desire. We have to have the desire to do whatever it is that we're going to do. Desire is the starting point of all riches, as Napoleon Hill says, riches being that of whichever it is that you want, be it money, be it things, be it a new relationship, health, whatever. Those all are considered riches. Desire is a thought impulse. Thought impulses are forms of energy. The entire universe consists of but two elements, energy and matter. Science will tell you that. Everything is energy and matter. Energy is in the matter. It says ideas are the beginning points of all fortunes. Ideas are products of the imagination. So the imagination is one of those intellectual faculties. In the conscious mind, we have our intellect, and this is where our imagination is. And what happens is we have this thought energy that's everywhere, this thought energy that's coming in through our senses. And all of these thoughts, we organize those thoughts and we build in our conscious mind through our imagination an idea. And it's that idea that we then want to impress into the subconscious mind through the use of autosuggestion, which we talked about yesterday. And then the other thing that I want to leave on here was he says that ideas, first you give life and action towards the idea and guidance. So life, action, and guidance towards the idea. So we give life to this idea by taking these thoughts, gathering them together, using our imagination to build the idea, to build the goal, to build what it is that we want, the life that we want, the new house that we want, whatever it is, we build it first in our imagination. Everything started first in someone's imagination. There isn't one, one of the Mona Lisa. There's two of them. The first one is held in the imagination of the artist. So he says ideas are like that. First, you give life, action, and guidance to the idea. Then they take on a power of their own and sweep aside all opposition. So the more energy we give to this idea, they start to take on life of their own. To where we don't have to coax, nurse this idea anymore because it's become so big in our mind that it is driving us. That is when we know it's in the subconscious mind and it's causing our behavior and it's moving us. He says ideas are intangible forces. Excuse me. But they have more power than the physical brains that gave birth to them. They have the power to live on after the brain that creates them have returned to dust. And if you think about that, I mean, this book was an idea in Napoleon Hill's mind. He's been long gone for a long time, but his ideas still remain and they move on. So that's just a little, just what I was reading today and what I was kind of studying. And I'll go through this a little bit more and kind of just pick out a part of that and just read it over and over until I get a better understanding of it. Some of the stuff that we're doing right now that I'm doing is we're building up this Facebook group where I'm sharing a lot of ideas like this, but going into a lot more depth of these ideas I will be doing. If you want to join over there, go to this address here, facebook.com/groups, Mind Stuff for Success. I'm going to be streaming a lot of training in there. In fact, at the end of this month, on November 27th, I'm going to be doing a 5-day masterclass. And I'll go over it. Right now, I am working on building the page, the registration page for it. But it is a masterclass, The Science of Manifestation, 5 days of decoding vibration, frequencies, and the law of attraction. So I'm building the page here. So right now we've got 18 days. This is going to be the registration page. When this is live, I will share it so you can go and register. It's going to be an absolutely phenomenal training. I've got some trainings that Bob Proctor had done. So he's going to be the expert on that. And 5 days, because everything is vibration and frequencies. Energy, matter is everything vibrating at a high speed, vibration and frequency. We all operate on frequencies. The goal that you have is on a specific frequency. We want to get in tune with that frequency in order to attract that. Anything that's coming into your life right now, you're in harmony with, you are in the same frequency or vibration of that. So in order to move to a higher level in your life, you've got to start thinking the thoughts, doing the actions of that person at that higher level, that higher frequency. And you're never going to do that at the level that you're at, because we have a tendency to think thoughts that we're in harmony with on the frequency that we live on. So we have to figure out how to get up to that higher level and start thinking those higher thoughts. And that's what this masterclass is all going to be. This training masterclass journey, whatever you want to call it. So as soon as I finish that page and get it linked up to the registration and everything, I will drop it in here. I'll drop it on the videos as I'm doing these. I want to fill that group up because it's going to be absolutely amazing. So I hope you got some value out of this. And I will see you guys again tomorrow. And we'll see what I'm studying at that time, because I don't know. I'm just going to pick up a book and we'll just go with it. So have a great day. This is Ed Reiner. Peace. God bless.